C'est candidat pour magistrat dans date 14 septembre.
Michele c'est un maman deux petites qui dans l'école publique nous yo. C'est un monde qui baille soin et ces petites yon immigrants. Ezekiel, c'est pour faire porter gros changements dans la communauté nous yo. Tant coup, permettre logement qui plus abordable, supporter ti business yo, renforcer système l'école nous yo. Et puis mettre opportunité et sécurité pour tout voisinage et famille nous yo.
10 years at City Hall, we've won some big fights, but we still have a lot more to do. As mayor, we'll make housing and transportation more affordable for everyone. And we will finally tackle the high cost of living.
On a invité tout le monde à voter Michele Roux pour poste magistrat à la ville de Boston le 14 septembre. Ensemble, on a fait Boston travail pour tout le monde.
Together, we'll get Boston working for all of us.
Bonjour. That's it. You heard that. Together, we will get Boston working for all of us. Jean-Claude, let's say good morning. Bonjour, Jean-Claude. And I think you have the candidate Michele Roux on the air. And for the people who are in Boston, Mattapan, Hyde Park, Rosendale, Dorchester, get ready for September 14. That's next week. Jean-Claude, let's go for it.
Thank you very much. Harold, mesdames et messieurs, salut tout le monde. Bonsoir. C'est serviteur Jean-Claude Sanon qui l'a de concert ensemble avec Michele Roux qui a couru pour poste de maire de la ville de Boston. Et l'élection c'est pour le 14 juillet, mais cependant il y a un early voting qui est déjà démarré. Michele, good morning to you.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
It has been great news for you lately because of what has been unfolded both on the media and everywhere else in regards to your campaign. Tell us about the momentum.
You know, we have seen some very exciting news about the support that we have out in the community, and it matches the energy that we feel knocking on doors, out at community events, visiting barbershops and salons and small businesses. But it all comes down to who actually shows up to vote. So I know Boston's ready for change, but we are fighting to make people know that September 14th is election day. It's coming up.
I've heard of some of the qualities of folks who are talking to me in regards to your campaign, saying she is always there, always present within the past 8 years. What have you accumulated within those past 8 years in terms of reinforcing your candidacy for the mayoral race?
You know, I was the first candidate to announce for mayor back in September. It's been almost a year. And for me, it was not about what other candidates might run or the size of a political opportunity. It is about how important it is that we step up for Boston residents right now, because the challenges our communities are facing and have been facing even before COVID-19 are so huge. And we have the power in city government. I'm building on a track record of 10 years in City Hall, working for Mayor Menino, and then 8 years on the City Council, where we passed more legislation for language access, for paid parental leave, for support to keep rents down. We showed that anything is possible in city government when everyone is at the table.
Là, tout le monde botable, bah, il y a plus bon dans le gouvernement, il a passé 8 ans d'expérience sur l'expérience à utiliser sérieusement dans l'élection qui va pour le venir là. Et certainement, c'était le premier monde qui a annoncé que a couru, même là que personne ne voulait penser que d'avoir un candidat qui va courir contre Mayor Walsh dès lors. Alors, c'est lui-même qui est à la tête là depuis lors, et c'est lui-même qui est à la tête là journée, jeudi. Et il paraît pour gagner un gouvernement, côté que pour travailler avec tout le monde, pour tout le monde au bon table là. Ça, son bagage qu'il croit là-dedans depuis, et nous avons dit depuis naissance. Lately, there has been a poll that has been taken showing that you are leading with a huge margin on the few days that are left. So how does that make you feel?
You know, I'm always very excited to see that our strategy of really trying to reach every single community has been connecting with voters. We're talking about the big issues. We're talking about the solutions that we have. And most importantly, we are meeting every community where they're at. Our campaign has 6 different languages in our campaign materials. We have been working with community leaders to make sure we are reaching every single neighborhood, because this is not about one person. This is not about me as a mayoral candidate going in there and making big changes by myself. That is impossible. This is about changing how we do politics in the city so that we are opening the doors of City Hall, getting City Hall out of City Hall into the neighborhoods, and building a movement so that everyone can be part of shaping our future.
Retirer gouvernement dans City Hall, protéger le peuple là pour capable desservir, c'est exactement ça que lié. Il compte de momentum côté que la mené dans sondage là, c'est vrai, mais cependant, les ça va l'arrêter pour faire toujours frapper dans le quartier, entrer dans le voisinage, entrer dans le business. Et puis, joindre avec leader, parler avec eux, ouais, comment tu dois protéger City Hall, bah, eux même dans ces circonstances là.
I get a question, Jean-Claude?
There are two candidates, exactly, that Senator Elizabeth Warren have endorsed. One of them happens to be the daughter of the Haitian community, Rudy Louis-Jeune, and also it happens to be you. How is that endorsement? And why? How you guys benefited from this?
Yeah, I'm very proud to have the support of our senior senator, Elizabeth Warren, and to be on that list with Ruthie, who is an amazing candidate. It just shows that we are not only making plans for city government and what city council or mayor can do, but understanding that we need partners at all levels. Now is a moment where there's funding from the federal government, there's momentum at the state level, and we need to fight for Boston. We need to be able to work across all levels of government to push the big issues that are really making a difference in people's lives.
Nos besoins alliés, nos besoins support, nous très appréciés de ce que nous jouons de privilèges là. Moi-même, ensemble avec Rudy Louis-Jeune, qui recevoir endorsement de senior sénatrice là, qui c'est Elizabeth Warren, son immense plaisir pour nous capables de faire ça et travailler ça. Now, one of the questions that I think, I'm going to leave Al to close this with his final questions, but I'm going to answer this one before we let you go. Promises have always been made throughout campaigns. And candidate comes and they go. They come and touch down in the Haitian community, get the votes, and they walked away. Then after that, nothing else happened in terms of your relationship. How do you intend to keep yours?
Yeah, this is absolutely true, and that is the reason why I started our campaign so early, is to not just fly in at the last second, spend some money on advertising and ask for people's votes, but to reinforce and keep building on a relationship over many years that will then be rock solid as we are headed into making a big difference in City Hall. For me, I do not take the Haitian community for granted. This community is a core part of Boston's strength and economy and culture, and we need to see this community represented in leadership in City Hall. And so that is my pledge, that I will always stand with the community on the policies, on the politics, and making sure that there's a strong connection, relationship, and representation.
Moi, peut-être seulement je dirais que je toujours camper ensemble avec nous, ni dans bon temps que dans mauvais temps, dans police, non, si le bagage correctement. C'est une communauté qui est très forte, que moi, m'apprends à respecter, ni dans la culture, ni dans l'investissement, ni dans l'économie en tout, que les super forts là dans les. C'est vrai, Jean-Claude, qu'on habitue pas comme ça pour poser crédit, moi, je ne pas pour poser crédit parce que moi, comprends très bien et je commence bien bonheur, pas un journée comme les comme si le monde qui a pas la dernière minute, qui a investi un peu d'argent dans réclame dans ceci, là, pour faire bailler au marché, et puis après ça, pour revenir de aller, moi, map là, et pour mettre que n'a pas table ensemble avec moi. Harold, do you have a final question for the candidate before we wrap it up?
Yes, indeed. I have a question. Hi, Michele Wu. My name is Harold Marius from Radio Télé Planète Compas. And my question basically, this morning I bring my daughter to school, and I realize all the kids, they have masks. So that's very important. So they try to protect themselves. I realize that the governor don't want to go for it, like the vaccine passport. Do you think it's it's a great idea to make sure it's how can I say that? Make it like a mandate to get vaccinated, and also to make sure you have your passport before you go to a place in order to boost the vaccine, because we got about 4,517,000 who already fully vaccinated out of 6.9 million people in Massachusetts. So don't you think it's best to get the vaccine passport, and also make it a mandate for every single job, single work, to get vaccinated?
Thank you so much, Harold, for the question. This is the top issue on people's minds right now. How do we get past the COVID-19 virus and this pandemic, which has been just wreaking havoc and so much destruction on our small businesses, on our families, on our young people and kids as they're going back to school, and so much stress on everyone. We need leadership right now more than anything else to end the pandemic. That means continuing to close the gaps for vaccinations and continuing to make every protection possible. I want to just make sure that there's a little clarity, because I think sometimes there's misunderstanding about what vaccination proof would mean. No one is talking about forcing anyone to get vaccinated against their will. No one is talking about, a mandate that would require every single person to do this. But we do need to make sure that in the places that we are seeing risky behavior, for example, if you're inside for a long time with a large group of people, like at a big concert, or in eating in a restaurant indoors for a long period of time where you can't eat with your mask on, there are certain situations where we should, to protect our workers, to keep our businesses open, we should be requiring that people be vaccinated to be indoors in those situations. But if it's going to the grocery store, eating outside on a patio, getting a quick coffee or patty when you're in and out and not inside for a long time, that would not apply. So this is really about following the science and putting the protections in place so that we can get through this dangerous part of the pandemic and make sure we are still saving lives.
Bon, mesdames et messieurs, la parole est super important. Mais dans l'école, moi, que les gars mettent masque, sans penser que ça va faire mandate à ce que l'État va exiger, surtout dans la place publique en particulier. Peut-être qu'il y a un pile de monde en foule pour mettre masque. Ils pensent que c'est une superbe idée, c'est une très bonne idée à rôle, mais cependant, mettez en phase à plus d'un côté ça va super bon, parce que tout côté que vous ne voyez ça plus le temps. Quelque chose pour maladie ça gagne pareil. Mais tandis que il y a quelques autres localités, écoutez que, par exemple, il y a un peu réservé, depuis que nous remarquons pas d'avoir trois prises pas d'ailleurs, nous sommes capables au moins, soit un mot, moi, je crois que, est capable de dire nous selon l'histoire, et c'était un candidat qui a pensé avec question de passeport, si là ça amène juste après, maire qui acting là devait prendre la décision lui-même finalement. Nous allons mettre fin avec spécial ça que nous avons gagné matin là, et maintenant petit Michel Roux, vous allez répéter après moi. Michel, you're going to repeat after me. Moi c'est Michel Roux.
Moi c'est Michel Roux.
Demandez-nous.
Demandez-nous.
Demandez-nous. Pour nous voter.
Pour nous voter.
Pour moi.
Pour moi.
Le 14 septembre.
Le 14 septembre.
Bravo.
Thank you. That comes to the answer. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us. Thanks a lot. Oh, thank you so much, brother.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. And I wish you good luck for the 14th of September. That's coming next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Voilà, c'était Michel Roux qui était avec nous. Eh bien, nous connaissons via son question de patience et travail dur. Élection, c'est pour le 14 septembre. Donc, il y a un paquet de candidatures et dans Brockton. Donc, Jean-Bradley Deononcourt qui peut aller pour City Council at large. Dans Boston, il y a Whitzy. Checker pour make sure que nous baillons bien pour qu'on ait candidat Whitzy, Louis Jeune, qui a besoin d'aide dans tout, comme City Councilor, le 14 septembre cap venir, et un candidat James Réginald Colimon le 14 septembre tout, et comme vous dit, candidat Michel Roux, pour magistrat lui-même. C'est pour magistrat pour aller, oui, là. C'est, nous connaissons Jenny qui est un magistrat dans le poste là, et Michel Roux, dans son sondage, Michel Roux frappé fort, oui, là. C'est lui-même qui leading.